It's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh. Santa's on his way. Hip hip hooray for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate. Now it's getting closer, I can't wait. Gonna make this holiday as perfect as can be. Just wait and see this Christmas vacation. This old house sure is looking good. Got ourselves the finest snowman in the neighborhood. Ain't it fun? Always on the run. That's how it's done on Christmas vacation. Let's go deck the halls and light the lights. Get a toasty fire burning bright. Give St. Nick the warmest welcome that he's ever had. We're so glad it's Christmas vacation. And when the nights are peaceful and serene, we can cuddle up and do our Christmas dreaming.
What's going on, everybody? It's been a couple weeks. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys can hear me. We're right now we're in the taint of Christmas and New Year's. That's the best way I know to call it. The taint. And this is that moment where we don't know like what the fuck is going on. Do I zig or do I zag? I don't know. I just don't know. It's kind of weird. But let's give Beth a round of applause for that awesome Christmas horror mashup with Christmas Vacation music. You can't beat it. It's awesome. So I had to use it. But man, I always miss you guys so much. I'm always nervous as hell. I don't know what it is. Like let me pull up and let me say hello to you guys. All right. Oh shit, that's my edit. I got too many windows open. You guys ever do that? You have too many windows open? Yeah. Mizzy E, Miss C Polly, Nicholas, Destiny, Brett, Chappie, Jason, Troy Grubb, Tiff, how are you doing? Linton Jonas, Chris the Snyder, who has the fan film for House of Wax coming out. What's the name of that fan film again, Chris? Fachi, what's up, brother? Time for a nice cold one with Deadhead. Yeah, Dead Camp Official. A lot of beautiful people in the chat. We're going to have a good time now. Got a lot of freaking... well, I guess it's not a lot of topics, but it's a lot of information to go over. You know, when I do these, I do my homework and I try to give you guys plenty of information. And sometimes I don't even make it to the funnies. Most of the time I make it to the funnies. But, yeah. Brian's Reviews and Podcast. What's up, man? How you doing? Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. There we go. Josh McIntyre. Yeah. So cool to see all you people here. It feels like Sunday. Did you guys work today? I'm going to keep you guys on your toes too, all right? Remember, these are always interactive. I'm always looking to get your feedback. So if I catch you asleep in the corner, I will give you a demerit and I will send you to the principal's office, okay? I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to do that at all. Yeah, Fachi's doing a Strangers Pray at Night fan film, which is awesome. I love that freaking movie. I was just talking to Damian Maffey just right before this. We were just talking on the good old, what do you call it? The Facebook Messenger. Yeah. Cody Archer, what's up, man? Long time no see. How are you doing, brother? Nice to see you. He pops up every now and then, though. It's always good to see Cody when he pops up. He's a good dude. Derek Lackey. Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. Now, what was the one thing that you guys got for Christmas that you liked the most? Dave Vanderhoff, what's up, man? Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas. You want me to show you guys a Christmas present I got? Besides the t-shirt I'm wearing. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Yeah. Why is it it's weird. My chat isn't working on my OBS like it usually is. Very, very strange. Let me try that refresh button and see what happens. No chat. No chat on that. So I guess I'll have to work off of this other thing so I can see you guys. I can see you guys barely on there, but my eyes aren't that good. So, and I keep pulling that. Let me close that out. While I'm waiting on your Christmas gifts. And bring that back up. Okay. That's all right. We can work from that. I can see you guys. That's sweet. So Josh McIntyre got a sweet smart HD TV. Oscar Vision got a Silent Night, Deadly Night sweater from Cavity Colors. That sounds cool. Destiny got the Elvira autobiography. Yeah, I hate when I'm wearing headphones because I can hear my voice inside my head and it's going crazy. Jason, he got Malignant on Blu-ray. Fantastic film. Yeah, Malignant, that's in my top 5 of the year for sure. Let's see. Derek Lackey says, I got to spend time with my family. Got some cool horror gifts, but time was my favorite. Yeah, man. It's all. You know what? This was, I think, one of the first, because my daughter's in the process of moving here to Orlando, and so Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve, I actually got to spend time with my daughter and my son. We all were in the same room at the same time, and that's not always an easy thing to do. So it was cool spending time with them, for sure. Dave Vanderhoff got some Blu-rays from the wife. Chester, what's up, man? Tiff says she got framed Freddy glove, a prop replica Friday the 13th Part 3 mask, and a Hannibal Lecter NECA figure. See, that's how you know. That's how you separate the true horror fans from just casual horror fans. And there's nothing wrong with being either. But, you know, when like 99% of your Christmas gifts are horror related, that's when you know you're serious. This is serious business. Okay? So, yeah. One thing I got. Let me show you one thing I got. And I posted this on Instagram, but I got this tourist trap, which is really cool. Vinyl. My wife got that for me. And I'm looking. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm looking forward to hearing it, though. Man, this is a creepy movie. And I hope you guys have seen Tourist Trap. because it's awesome. It's awesome. And it's PG. It might be, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it might be the only PG rated slasher movie, not horror, but slasher. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the only one, which is really cool because it's better and scarier than most R-rated fare that come out today. That's a fact. And it's filled with tension. It's filled with tension. And you know, it got me thinking because I was watching When a Stranger Calls Back recently. What's up, Vinny? And they don't make movies like this anymore where they solely depend on tension. Or I don't see them that often anymore, you know? And it's a shame because maybe the reason being is because it's not an easy craft, you know, to actually make a scary horror movie without using blood and guts and simply depending on tension. That might be the hardest task for a director to do, you know? And yeah, these guys back in the day, man, they knew how to do it. They knew how to do it. What's everybody drinking tonight? If you look behind me, and I got a couple super chats. Hold on, let me see if I scroll up. Will I see those? I'm gonna scroll up real quick just to see. So Eddie E, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So both of them were from Eddie E. Eddie E, you're the man. Chris Flamethrower, what's up, brother? Chris, if you look right behind me, you'll see a poster that you might recognize. Today, I actually put all these posters up. As a matter of fact, if we were so inclined, we could switch over to the B cam and I could show you guys this. Hold on just a sec. Let me do this real quick for you guys. Let's go B cam. There you go. Okay, we got the B cam up. Now see that? Look at those nice posters. Got the and a lot of them are signed. Like I got a couple from like a friend of mine, Emilio Gasca on Instagram. He drew those two outside ones, the crow, and that one right there on the far left that's actually me dressed up as Michael Myers, and I'm holding the mask in my hand. And yeah, there's signed by Nick Castle, the Halloween 2018 one, signed by Alex Esso, Starry Eyes, and then Chris, his I Spit on Your Grave. That's signed by Camille freaking Keaton. Did you guys hear what I just said? That was signed by Camille Keaton. That's insane to me. That's freaking insane to me. So, yeah. But it's coming together. I still got to put a shelf up there, but yeah. I got a good show for you guys tonight, though. We're going to be talking about Halloween Ends, and we're going to have a little debate. And this is where I'm going to need your feedback. I'm going to need your feedback on both these, actually, because we're going to be talking about Halloween Ends, and it's called What Do You Want? What do you want? Of course, I'll tell you what I want too, but we're going to find out what you want from Halloween Ends. And then, you know what? Maybe I'll pull up a pop-up chat on this side here. See, because my freaking OBS, it messed up on me. So if I pull up, let me see, can I do that? If I pull up a pop-up chat? No, it won't let me. Or actually, here we go. Pop-out chat. Let's try that. Yeah, and then I can pull this over here. There we go. That's all right. We roll with it. Okay, yeah. So that way now I can see your pretty faces. All right. Yeah. Camille. Wow, David Catone. Yeah, man. That's what I said. Chris, I can't thank you enough, man. What was it like to just did you get to chat with her for a few minutes? Must have been so cool. Chat needs to convince Lee to cover the Leprechaun series. You know what? Here's the thing about reviews for me. I gotta want to do it. You know, I gotta be like, even after 7 years, it's gotta have my heart. My heart's gotta be invested in it. And I think that's one of the reasons why you don't usually see me doing full franchise reviews like in a row. Because I do get bored with things pretty quick. And so for me, it tends to work better when I kind of space things out, and I'll do one, like I'll do, say, Final Destination. I'll do the first one, and then I'll move on to like a couple different things. And all of a sudden I'll be like, ooh, I feel like I want to watch Final Destination 2. And usually when I watch something, I jump in the studio and I start recording, you know? But I do get burnt out on franchises if I watch them in a row. If it's a small franchise like When a Stranger Calls, where there's only 3 movies, I can usually pump those out pretty quick. But if it's like back in the day, I did all of the Halloweens, I did all of the Friday the 13th, I did all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. As much as I love all 3 of those franchises, I got burnt out on all 3 of them. So the way I do it now is I space things out. So by the time I get to the last Hellraiser movie, I'm still kind of in it and enjoying it, you know? And it kind of helps you open your mind a little bit on the movie at hand, you know? Instead of every day I've been watching these movies and I still kind of have this last one on my mind. I don't like working like that, you know? So Josh Ward finally caught a live stream. Hell yeah, man. Happy you could be here. Happy you could be here. But my process is a little weird, for sure. And so, yeah. Now, let's go over... Do you guys want to do... Let's do the Halloween Ends stuff first, okay? Let's do the Halloween Ends first. And one thing... I actually did some notes here. Hold on. I did some notes here. Let me pull this up. I'm pulling up way too much. Yeah, here we go. I don't have Microsoft Word. I freaking I have like that online version of Word. So you have to do everything in the cloud. Because when I went to this new computer, I didn't feel like paying. I don't know how much is Office these days. I didn't feel like paying like $350 for Office. So it's kind of crazy. But so we got some we're gonna spend a lot of time on Halloween Ends tonight because I got a lot of stuff to cover. And if I go over here, let's take you to the first news story. All right. There's a few different things I'm gonna cover first before I get to what you want and what I want. And let me close out my tabs there. Hold on. All right, and let me get over here. Get over here. Okay, so let's cover this article first. All right, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty and talk about what you guys want and what I want eventually. So, David Gordon Green says Halloween Ends is more intimate and influenced by Christine. Now, this article did come out a little while back, and I kind of compiled a few things that I found. So some of the stuff you see is going to be a little older because I haven't put out too many Halloween Ends updates in the past, I don't know, couple months, something like that. So I guess I'm coming off of my Kills coverage and I'm starting to go on to my Ends coverage. So I'm trying to pack it all into one big punch, and I'll probably clip some of this stuff out after. But with Halloween Kills, director David Gordon Green went big, spreading the effects of Michael Myers' violent rampage across the wider Haddonfield area, whipping up a frenzy on the streets of the town itself and over at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. But if the law of sequel escalation might have you imagining an even bigger third entry to cap off Green's trilogy, the filmmaker has other plans. Speaking of the Empire Spoiler Special podcast, he opened up about his smaller scale plans for the upcoming Halloween Ends, due to arrive this time next year and pitting the surviving characters against the shape once more. And that's another reason why I wanted to talk about this too. Let me pull over here. Because I think we're like less than a month away from the principal photography. They're going to start shooting this movie in like less than a month, which first, I guess my first question for you guys is, are you worried that Halloween Ends is coming out a year after Halloween Kills? Like, is this bringing up a little bit of Halloween 5 PTSD? Is that what it is? PTSD? Yeah. Because You know, we all love Halloween 5 in different ways now, right? I think time has been kind to that movie. But when it first came out, not so much. You know, a lot of people did not like Halloween 5. It definitely felt rushed. And one of the biggest reasons for that was they went back to the well too quick. They should have waited, and they should have let things breathe a little bit and come up with a better script. So, what do you guys think about Halloween Ends taking this same approach? I feel like... Ooh, Chris Snyder, I'm going to get to that in just a sec. I feel like this situation is a little different because they already had a plan in motion, whereas back when they did Halloween 4, I don't think they had anything in plan for Halloween 5, you know? And like Dave Vanderhoff said, it's already been delayed a year, which that gives them enough time to kind of nurture the script, which they have. Like, I saw an interview with David Gordon Green recently, and he stated that, yes, they did finesse the script. They did make some changes during COVID, you know? They did have some group meetings to talk about, you know, what they want in this movie. Chris Snyder says, I want it to end with a shot of Michael and Laurie dead on the ground, side by side with each other, then an overhead crane shot to show the Myers house burning behind them. You're kind of making me think of Rob Zombie, because they did have a crane shot in the original. Like, this wasn't the theatrical cut. This was what they called the work print, where the work print ended like after Loomis saves Laurie, and then Michael like bashes the window open, and he pulls Laurie from the car, and then there's a big shootout. And the cops kill Myers. Then there's a crane that pulls up, and it's just Myers laying there on the ground. So it's kind of like that. Of course, Laurie Strode didn't die. Although, in the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, she did die. She gets shot along with Myers, I believe. Right, guys? I get confused because there's two different cuts of so many of these movies. And sometimes you can kind of get both cuts, like, mixed up. But I do believe in one of those Rob Zombie cuts, both of them did die. So, I didn't grab the Monster tonight. I grabbed a Coke, because I'm noticing, like, Monster, and it's like I'm just now noticing this, but man, Monster, you crash. You know, you feel great for like 20 minutes, and then you crash. So I'm trying to avoid crashing within 2 hours. You know. Michael gets shot 100 times. It's the same ending as Halloween 4. I don't think they're going to go that route. All right, let's continue. Where are you? I got too many windows open. You know, hold on. Let me close a couple of these damn windows. See, when you're setting up for a stream, you have to open so many damn windows, you know, like, I guess you could call them pre-windows to get them going. I'll leave my Spotify up, though. I'll leave that up. Okay, but then I can go over here. Okay, so let's continue reading this. Oh, and let's get you guys back over here. Okay, we're there anyway. Okay. If Kills was an expansive horror tale, Ends is instead a much more intimate movie. That's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. I don't think you want to go even bigger than what Kills was. You know, I think that's part of the reason a lot of people didn't like Kills. I think Kills, at the end of the day, at the end of this trilogy, Kills is going to be the most divisive film in there. And I'm seeing very little in the middle and a lot on the outsides, either love or hate. You know, because I loved it, and I'm seeing a lot of people that hated it, and it's usually for the same reasons. So, if anything, I think Kills is a very interesting movie. Which, by the way, since we're talking about divisive films, I went on Rotten Tomatoes today to look at the ratings for Halloween Resurrection, and I was shocked that it was kind of down the middle, and there were a lot of people that did appreciate it. And I'm on the other side of that. I hated the movie. So I guess Kills is kind of like that. Let's see, hold on, much more. Okay, there's not a lot of games in it. There's there's not a lot of wittiness and retro joy. It's kind of a coming of age film, and it's very different, a very different tone, and that's what excited me about it. Is to have 3 chapters that I've been involved in be very different from each other. They are all there to honor Carpenter, but aren't necessarily just emulating him. So the one sentence in that paragraph that stuck out to me was a coming of age film. What do you think? What do you guys think that means? Coming of age. Like, I'm wondering if are they talking about Allison? You know, or because when I think of coming of age, I always think of somebody young and they go through an ordeal, you know, a lesson. And so that's the, I mean, am I wrong here, guys? I'm thinking Allison might be an integral part of this story based on coming of age. And I could be way freaking off. But I don't know. Is there something that's too close to me that I'm missing here? To me, it sounds like it's an Allison thing. Like, at the end of this, she's going to be a different person. And also, and I'm just speculating heavily here, I don't know anything, but yeah, Julian being the hero, I don't think so. Chris and Destiny were like synced up on that thought. If I were to like really start digging into that theory of this being a coming of age story, could that mean that Laurie Strode dies and Allison has to kind of pick up the reins? And what if Laurie Strode dies in the first act of the movie? Like what if Laurie Strode storms out of that hospital at the beginning of Ends, and the beginning of the movie is a big showdown, you know, between Laurie and Myers kills her. I bet nobody's thought of that. But, or at least I haven't heard anybody mention that. But wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that get people to sit up in their seats? Like, because this is the Laurie Strode, Michael Myers saga. Everybody expects those two to be the last people standing. But, man, that would be a shocker. And the reason I'm thinking this is because coming of age. You know, maybe it could mean something like that. Okay, he has killed my grandmother finally. I have to, you know, figure this out now. I don't know. I have to face Michael once and for all. Allison becomes a parent. God, I hope not. I hope not. Jesus. I think more times than not in franchises, when they start bringing children into the sequels, it can be a writing issue. And I've heard that, like, Sydney in the new Scream has a child in the movie, which I don't know if that'll get in the way of the movie or not. But I'm always a little nervous about that when they bring children into the fold. Chris, oh my God, that did not work out too well in Halloween Resurrection. Well, what if, they kill Laurie Strode off in the first act, and then the rest of it, Allison's part of this group that has to stay for a night in the Myers house, and Myers is living in the basements, in the catacombs. Has that been done before? If it was, I'm sure it was successful. I'm sure it was. And it was called Resurrection, which usually means surefire hit. Guys, from this day forward, will there ever be a movie with the tagline Resurrection on it? My money's on no. I will be shocked. Unless it's like the Walmart dumpster bin. That's out of the picture. I'm talking about a legitimate, big studio type of movie. I don't think they'll ever use the term resurrection ever again. Okay. Let's read on. Man, I love hearing you guys' thoughts. Okay. And speaking of honoring John Carpenter, Green mentioned a curious influence for his third Halloween, the legendary director's 1983 adaptation of Stephen King's Christine. I sent Carpenter the new draft of Halloween Ends the other night, and I said, if it feels too Christine, Let me know, says Green, noting how his next film will be a broader tribute to the thematic and cinematic occupations of the director who first birthed the original Halloween. For Halloween Ends, it's just a love of Carpenter, you know? It's more than just, hey, here's a character and a community that you've created. It's here's an appreciation of your legendary body of work. So it sounds like he's really wanting to honor Carpenter in a big way. And I hope that works. I hope that doesn't get in the way of the movie. Will Green be swapping Michael Myers out for a 1958 Plymouth Fury? Will he play the film out to the sounds of Bad to the Bone? Please no. Will there be a vehicular possession involved? Only time will tell. I think the answer to all three of those questions is no. Negatory. Absolutely not. But I think he's talking about the overall vibe, I guess, of the movie. How it's a little bit more smaller scale. I don't know. What do you guys think about this being influenced by Christine? Like, what the hell could that mean? You know? If anything, when people think of Carpenter, they usually think of like atmosphere, you know? And stretching a scene out, patience. So maybe there's going to be some of that. Now, when he says, what do you think of, like, is it too Christine? At first, I was thinking, like, maybe the score would be a little bit Christine. But you don't see, like, the scores, you can't hear the script, right? What's up, Ashley? How are you doing? You can't hear the script. So that's been, I'm telling you, ever since I read that, that's been, like, racking my brain. Like, what the hell does he mean by it's very influenced by Christine? I don't know. Destiny says maybe he's just throwing anything Carpenter related at the wall to see what sticks with fans. Yeah, but then if you remember earlier in the article, he said he's trying to stay away from the retro type stuff. You know, you know how Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills had way, like, so many freaking winks and nods to the original franchise, especially 2018. So I think he's trying to stay away from that, and maybe in this one, more of focusing on the style of Carpenter, you know, instead of direct winks and nods to certain aspects of those films. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, and I would be up for that. Like, Christine, I think, is one of Carpenter's most underrated movies. It really is. It's got an amazing score. It does have a really creepy vibe to it. You know, this is a car. How do you make a car scary? I actually stated in one of my videos, years and years ago, that Carpenter could direct a banana peel and he'd make it scary. You know, he just had that ability to make any, like, inanimate object scary somehow. He could do it. So, yeah, maybe there's a banana peel in this movie. I don't know. A Keith Gordon cameo in Halloween Ends with Christine. Yeah, what if the car, like, somebody drives what is it, 1958 Plymouth something? What if somebody drives the freaking car in the movie? That'll kind of get in the way, because then you're thinking of Christine every time you see it, you know? I don't know. Okay. All right, I got a couple questions for you guys, all right? For you guys. What is one thing that was in the previous two movies, not just Kills, but Kills in 2018, what is the sore spot of those two movies that you want corrected in Ends? You know? I guess, what is something from those two movies that you do not want in Ends? What's, like, the biggest stain on those movies that you're hoping that they correct about Ends? And I'll ponder that too. I'm trying to think. We'll answer these together, okay? This is not multiple choice. There will be a test, and there will not be a right answer. So, who knows? My Coke's getting warm. Don't you hate that when your Coke starts getting warm? LP Quagmire says, I would like it to end. Chris Snyder says, Hawkins being sheriff. That's a definite possibility right there, since it's 4 years later. A stupid side plot. Destiny. Tone down the comedy. Well, I think they did tone down the comedy in Kills. Or it wasn't like as much like 2018 I think had more comedy than Kills did. Although there were some funny moments in Kills. And Destiny, that side plot is, I think, the one thing that divided fans with Kills. I think it's, and I always hear people complain about the inmate, the misdirection. But I think that was the point of the movie. I think that was their story. How do you put Myers in this situation with the town of Haddonfield? How can you make him win? Going back after I've already seen this movie, kind of analyzing it, I can almost see them in the room, figuring out things as they're writing the script. How can we make this guy win over the town? Misdirection. Because everybody is so quick to react instead of actually thinking when they're in chaotic situations. Doesn't matter what the situation is. So I think that made it believable. And I do buy that people would be complete fucking morons if faced with, ultimate danger like this. And so I think that's why I did like it. Because somebody did lose their life, the inmate, this is a guy that's probably, out of his mind. And he's probably wondering, like, why aren't all these people coming after me? What the fuck did I do? And he might not be like an innocent guy. Don't get me wrong. But they think he's Myers, And so this guy kills himself. And I think I liked this because it's something I've never seen in a Halloween movie before. So I like that they had the balls to try that. And I think for me it worked. For a lot of people it didn't work. And I understand why. I completely understand why. But I think it all depends on if you connect with it emotionally. And I think I did. I think I connected with it emotionally when the scene where he jumps from the window, and I'm just, man, I felt bad for the guy. I did. I felt really bad for the guy. And I think they played it smart by not spelling out what this guy did, what his crimes were, or maybe he was, he was in a mental ward. Was it a prison? I guess Miss Grove is kind of a prison, right? So he did something wrong, but they didn't tell what it was. But at the end of the day, this was a life, and And the reason that happened was because of Myers. Myers had the upper hand. And I always tend to love it when Myers has the upper hand in his movies. Yeah. What's up, Byron? How you doing, man? Let me see. Hold on. Dead Camp Official says it's not believable anymore. Jamie Lee Curtis in her 60s and still surviving a psychopath. No way. They got to cut the bullshit. I don't know how old you are, Dead Camp. And that's not a slight against you. But I've seen some badass motherfucking 60-year-olds. I'm not going to lie. I work in civil engineering and construction. I've worked with a lot of guys. I worked with this guy who was literally 70 years old. And he arm wrestled everybody. And it wasn't even a question. Just boom, just like that. Just boom. This guy, because he was a Mason, and this was the strongest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. And he was 70 years old. So when people bitch about the age thing, up to a point, I can buy it. But Sylvester Stallone is mid-70s. And that guy could probably whoop half our asses, So I never had a problem with the age thing. Never had a problem with the age thing. And let's take a look at Laurie Strode. All right, I'll give you a little bit of leeway on Laurie Strode. And maybe you're saying that because she's a woman. But this is a person who has spent her whole life preparing for inevitability. There we go. Inevitability. She's been preparing for Michael Myers to come back. And we've seen all the training that she did with her daughter. And the gun training, all that stuff. So I bought it because they built that up. They set the stage for how tough of a character Laurie Strode is. When you see her firing that gun and it's just boom, 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 boom. She's conditioned. She's ready. And sometimes age actually helps a person out, if I'm being honest. If you take care of yourself, then sky's the limit. You can still kick some major fucking ass. Okay. Jamie Lee Curtis laid in the bed the entire Halloween Kills because she's old and weak. Well, let's think about that too. Why was she in the bed the entire time in Halloween Kills? I don't care how tough you are. If you take a knife to the stomach, you're not getting up. I don't care if you're Sylvester Stallone. I don't care who you are. You are not getting up. Knife to the stomach, out for the count. That's just the way it is. Yeah. No, I could not take Stallone, Adam. I could not take Stallone. Matter of fact, don't take my word for it. Look it up on YouTube. There are interviews like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Joe Rogan did a podcast, and it's literally talking about how tough Stallone is. And he's the real deal. They say he's a fucking beast, And I might be a little biased because Stallone's like my idol. I grew up a Stallone fanatic. So, yeah, I'll give you that. I'm a little bit biased, but I do believe Stallone's a pretty tough dude. But if he's not, that's the point I'm trying to make is 60 years old, you can still get a lot done at 60 years old, I can, like, Myers, as soon as he walked into that bathroom in Halloween 2018, the question was over. He was handling and cooking fools like nobody's business. And I bought it. I did. I bought it. Plus, but Myers is they like to say he's not supernatural, but I think in Kills, it's pretty much he's supernatural. Yeah, he's supernatural. So, I've had this debate so many times with people. No problem, Dead Camp. No problem at all, man. And I'm not, and you know what? In your defense, I'm not a big fan of Laurie Strode as a character. If you follow my channel, you'd know that. You would think I hate her from as much as I bitch about Laurie Strode, even though I don't. And I do think she has her place in Final. And I do think that Jamie Lee Curtis is the Scream Queen. She has earned that title. But Laurie Strode as a character, there's other Final Girls that I actually prefer. So, I even preferred her in H2O over Halloween 2018. And I prefer that movie over H2O. So, go figure. Go figure. Please don't give us Uber Michael. Okay. Where was I? Okay, let me go to my notes here. Hold on. I did up a whole thing for you guys. Let me go to my slides. Topical slides. Okay. Okay, what do you want? What do you want? That's that. And let me minimize this a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Now we can see it. Okay. Okay, guys. Here we go. Should Laurie and Michael both die? And you guys can answer these along the way if you want. So I can see that. So I can see it. Okay. So yeah. Should Laurie and Michael both die? Well, I think as far as them both dying, I think that's predictable. I think everybody's expecting one or both of them to die. So I think they're going to go with the element of surprise. And I think they're going to... I'll just say it right now. I think Myers is going to live. I do. I think Myers is going to live, and I think Laurie Strode... I think she's going to die, but I think they're going to try to handle it in a way that makes her still kind of look like the hero, if that makes sense. And thinking back to what he just said about Carpenter, what did he say about he wants to honor Carpenter in this movie. And what has Carpenter stated many times in the past? Evil never dies. Evil never dies. So that's why I don't think Myers will die in this movie. I think he will live because he is pretty much pure evil. And evil lives on. They might, there's going to be a big showdown at the end. And I think Michael's going to take some battle damage for sure. But I don't think you can kill Michael. There was this article. Matter of fact, I can show you this. And I'm not going to read it because I read through it earlier. And it pretty much states the same stuff. It gives you the backstory of how... Don't you hate these articles where they're like... 18 paragraphs long, and 17 of the paragraphs give you the backstory, and then the actual title of the article, they give it in one little paragraph. It's kind of annoying. But they're basically saying, and this is Screen Rant, Halloween Ends will kill Michael Myers and Laurie. Theory explained. And then if you read the article, there's not really much of a theory. It's just a guess. I don't know. Oh, fuck it. We'll read it. Hold on. I'll read it to you, okay? Hold on. I'm not going to read I'm going to read the last paragraph, what they're talking about. Hold on. See, Halloween Ends needs to wrap up the main Halloween story. Yeah, duh. We know that. Halloween has hinted Laurie has to die for Michael Myers to be killed. Let me read this, okay? I'll see what they're saying about this. Halloween established that Michael Myers was eventually captured minutes after the end of the 1978 movie and spent decades locked up at Smith's Grove. Now Smith's Grove Psychiatric Hospital. But with the help of his new doctor and former student of Loomis, Ranbir Sartain, he was led back to Laurie. After lots of struggle, the Strode women managed to trap Michael in the basement of Laurie's heavily guarded house, set it fire, and ran away, leaving him to die. But if there's something the Halloween franchise has clearly established is that Michael Myers is very hard to defeat. No shit. The sequel, Halloween Kills, picks up a couple of minutes after the end of Halloween. And see, that's what I'm talking about. They're regurgitating information that we already know. Get to the point. Damn it. So let me... while Laurie recovered, fellowship, blah, blah, blah. Man, they're killing me. They're killing me. Just when it seems like the mob achieved its goal. Yeah, they're giving us what happened in Halloween Kills. Laurie added that the curse of Michael is the fear he has seeded in Haddonfield, and he can't be defeated with brute force. However, there should still be a way to defeat Michael Myers. And with Karen now supposedly dead as well, the reboot timeline is hinting at the only way for Michael to be killed is with Laurie's dying as well. You have told me nothing. You have literally told me nothing, Screen Rant. What the fuck? That wasn't a theory. I can't take this. I can't take it. I just wasted 5 minutes of my audience's time. I can't stand that. That drives me nuts. Guys, did you get anything out of that? Because I got nothing. I got nothing out of it. They pretty much just recapped what happened. Karen died. So now he has to kill the... That means nothing. That means nothing if Laurie's the last person standing. They don't even mention Allison. How is that going to end Myers for good? You know, they don't talk anything about some kind of witchcraft or spell or anything. It's nothing. Laurie is revealed to be the Man in Black. Thank you very much, Horror Experience with Lily. Jesus. Are you guys pissed off like I am? Like, that pisses me off when you read through these freaking stupid articles. Jesus. All right, let me go back over here. Hold on. Topical slides. All right. Audience, I apologize so much. I wasted your time. I didn't mean to do that, but I did. Dave, let's see what Dave says. Hold on. Says, I'm worried about the... Where'd it go? Okay, I'm worried about the 4 years in the future thing, and if Michael's captured and they fuck with him and his mask. That's a good... Like, what's his mask? Is he going to get a new mask in 4 years? Or, he's probably going to use the same mask, but, I mean, will it be... Is he going to, like, take it to the dry cleaners? I don't know. We're going to get another H2O fake Michael death. See, that's the thing, too. I'm curious to see how they're going to end this thing, because it's like 10 different things that you could do, and pretty much all 10 of them, there's like a writing corner that they're getting themselves into. The Halloween franchise, it's so hard to make an ending that really, really packs a punch. Most of the movies have kind of a similar ending. What Halloween 4 did can pretty much never be done again unless there's a crazy twist on it or something like that. And it was amazing. It worked for its time, but it's kind of one of those one and done type deals. Once you've done it, you can't do it again, And if you do something like that, what are you going to do in the next movie? That's why they were in trouble with Halloween 5. After they did what they did in Halloween 4, it's awesome as it is. Gave me nightmares for years. Made me the Halloween fanatic that I am today. Still, Halloween 5 was what it was partly because of that ending. So yeah. So back to the question: should Laurie and Michael both die? My money's on Michael living and Laurie dying. And Laurie's still a hero. That's my money. That's what my money's on. Okay. And Michael is supernatural now. Will killing Laurie kill Myers? And that kind of goes back to what I just read. And that's something that's not really in that article. I kind of pulled it out of the article. So it's kind of a theory that I came up with, I guess, on my own, or because it feels like that's what they're trying to say in the article, is that killing Laurie will kill. So I guess I can't say I came up with it on my own. Get myself in trouble here. But what I'm saying is, why would killing Laurie kill Myers? They're not siblings, but even if they were siblings, that still wouldn't kill him. Like that's the question that's making me rack my freaking brain. Like, how in the hell is that going to kill Myers? That makes no sense. Because Laurie has never been the target. She wasn't the target in Halloween 2018. She wasn't the target in Halloween Kills. So she's not going to be the target in Ends. So how in the hell is that going to kill Myers? I don't know. I have no idea. And maybe there's, maybe that is the situation. And I'm curious to see what they're going to come up with. I don't know. Lindsay's fate. I'm really excited that Kyle Richards is coming back. For years and years and years and years, I always wondered what happened to Lindsay Wallace. And we all know Kyle Richards. She is the aunt of Paris Hilton. And I was just always curious to see her come back into the franchise because she can act, She actually did a pretty decent job as a child actor in the first movie. And she was probably one of my favorite parts of the Halloween Kills. I think she had something interesting to do in the movie. And she's one of the few characters that actually got some legit good hits on Myers when she put a bunch of rocks in a pillow sack or something like that. She should have put a bunch of Coke cans like Bad Boys. I think that would have taken him out. And Myers would have had a radio and he'd be walking around and then all of a sudden it would explode in his face. Have you guys seen Bad Boys? Not the one with Will Smith? Directed by Rick Rosenthal, who directed Halloween 2. We brought it back around. Did you see that? We brought it back around. So, yeah. Great movie, though. Sean Penn. Yeah. Yeah, and she does look great. She does look great. Kyle Richards. She's got that star appeal, She's got that. Like, we don't really have movie stars anymore. You notice that? Like, when I watch Netflix, I don't recognize any of the faces anymore. None of the faces. It's weird. Like, what happened to the movie star? Maybe they were paying the movie star too much money, and so that's why you don't see the movie star that much anymore. Okay. This is the end. Should they go hog wild? Thorne, Sam Hain, Loomis, Danielle, Harris? Now, this is a question for you guys. Do you want them to introduce some of that wild shit that gets the franchise in trouble? I'm definitely looking straight at Halloween 4, 5, and 6 and the whole Thorne cult and everything. Those are like 3 of my favorite movies of the franchise. I love 4, 5, and 6 immensely. Especially 4 and 6. I have fun with 5. And there's some good stuff in 5. But 4 and 6, man, I adore those movies so much. And I'll even say this. Halloween 1 and 2 fit nicely in with 4, 5, and 6. Am I right on that, guys? There's still some of that creepy Samhain, witchcrafty type vibe stuff in 1 and 2. Remember, in part 2, he's in the high school, and there's Samhain in blood on the chalkboard. You know, that fits right in with where they were going in 4, 5, and 6. You know, especially 6, leading all the way up to 6. So, I'm the Halloween fan that likes when they explore deeper into the supernatural and stuff like that. You know, really kind of throw caution to the wind with some of these story ideas. It seems like most people want the story to be just straightforward. Laurie Strode, Michael Myers, no supernatural aspect. To me, that's boring. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's one reason why I've always been against Laurie Strode, is because she kind of gets in the way of what I like about the franchise. What I like about the franchise, Laurie Strode has never really been a part of. I've always liked that mystery of Myers, you know? That Samhain angle. And that ugly, dirty word that, how dare I say it, thorn. For some reason, when people think of thorn, it brings forth just like a dirty vibe to it. You know, we don't know. Don't go near that. Stay away from thorn. And I think people always think that means they're going to give away too much. You know, they're going to give away too much about his backstory. And you know, this is what people say about 6. And 6 has its problems. Don't get me wrong. I still love the movie immensely for going down that road. And to me, personally, I don't, especially in the theatrical cut, I don't think they really went too far. You know? There's the one scene where Tommy Doyle is sitting at the computer and he explains the constellations. That's it. And for some reason, people freak out about that whole thing, and they think they're giving away way too much, you know? I think the producer's cut takes it way too far with the whole incest thing, and thank God the theatrical cut doesn't go down that road. I put the wrong tag on here. Damn it. Hold on. I wanted to put this one on here, and I wanted to take... What do I do with the... and take that off. Son of a bitch. Okay. But yeah. So this is the stuff that gets me excited about Halloween. I've always loved when they dive deep into that freaking whole, supernatural, Samhain, Thorn type shit. I love that stuff. Because to me, it's like the what if. What if there's more to him, To me, it opens doors for uncertainty. Whereas when you go down that straightforward path with just, cat and mouse, Michael and Laurie, and just a straightforward story, no supernatural, to me, you kind of, I don't know. I mean, it works because Myers is a blank slate. I get that. That's why the first movie works so well, because he is a blank slate. But I think you can have your cake and eat it too, as long as you do it the right way. And at the end of the day, I left 4 and I left 6 scared out of my mind. And isn't that what you want to do at the end of the day? And I left those movies so freaking curious about Myers. I was obsessed with the guy. And the reason I was obsessed with him is because of how scary they made him in those movies. At the end of 6, theatrical cut, when you see Loomis with Myers at the end of the movie, you just see the mask on the ground, and you hear Loomis this yell. That sent chills down my freaking spine. It scared the crap out of me. There's a scene in Halloween 6 where he is having this showdown with why am I drawing a blank on her? Is it Tara? I'm drawing a blank on her freaking name. But she's fighting with him, and she's about to pull his mask off. And man, that scene, I remember just like, oh my God, what could be behind that mask, Remember there was a time when what was behind Myers' mask was like the scariest thing imaginable, and that doesn't exist anymore. Because we've seen Myers unmasked, quite a few times. Hell, in this new trilogy, we see him unmasked all the time. So... that's gone, pretty much. Because once it's out of the bag, then Kara. Thank you very much, Destiny. Kara. Why was I saying Tara? And also Danielle Harris. Now, I've been listening to Talk Scary to Me, their podcast, and they've been asked a few times about coming back to the franchise, and Danielle Harris, swears up and down, no, nobody's reached out to her, it's not going to happen. But, a couple things. Maybe it hasn't happened yet, or thinking back to Andrew Garfield, who swore up and down. Like, I probably would have put Vegas money that he wasn't going to be in the movie. He was that convincing that he wasn't in No Way Home. We all saw what happened, So I hope I didn't spoil No Way Home for some of you guys. But yeah, I mean, I still have hope. I'm a Jamie Lloyd fan. I love the character so much, and man, if Jamie Lloyd showed up in Halloween Ends, maybe I'm alone here, and maybe it would just be my own little party. But man, I would go freaking nuts if Jamie Lloyd pops up in the third act of this movie. That would be insane to me. I would love that. So, yeah, that'd be awesome for me. Now, the radio tower, is there a connection? I saw on Dave McCrae's thing, he was talking about this radio tower. I think there was an interview they were talking about. There's one of the scenes in the flashback from Halloween Kills where we see a radio tower and, setting off some beacon. Could there be something about that radio tower that comes back into play in Halloween Ends? I'm for it. I'm definitely for it because, again, that kind of ventures into that. There's a supernatural thing. It triggers something in him, and maybe there's like a supernatural aspect to it, and maybe there's more to it that we don't even know, which would be cool. Tiff says maybe someone will make a movie, continue the story of Part 4. I don't think it's happening in Ends. Yeah, you're probably right. Which is another question I was actually thinking too. Like, what if somebody actually approached Danielle Harris? Because fan films are pretty big right now. There's been some really great fan films coming out. And how cool would that be if they actually approached Danielle Harris and said, hey, let's make a Halloween movie. Let's get a lot of money behind it. And let's make a true, legit sequel to 4. Or even 5. I'm telling you right now, there is a big enough fan base for Halloween 4, 5, and 6. I've seen it. There's people that love 4 to death. So I think there's a big enough fan base that a lot of people, if it was done well, that could make some good money. That fan film, I think people would literally pay for it. I'd probably pay like $5.99. Would you guys do that? Like, if somebody made a legit studio quality fan film, Jamie Lloyd, 30 years later, would you pay $5.99 to rent it? Because I sure as hell would. I sure as hell would. And I guess the question is, would she do that? Because if she did that, then would that mean the door is... Because I think Danielle Harris probably likes to think that the door is still cracked open just a little bit. And if she did a fan film like that, would it shut the door for good? I don't know. Bruce Willis is like Nicolas Cage. They'll do anything. Okay. And we kind of talked about this earlier, but 4 years later, the possibilities. You can't satisfy those that hated Kills. Or no, you can satisfy those that hated Kills as well as people that loved Kills, the fans. That I think that's the big thing that you can get away with 4 years later. You can right a lot of wrongs, because I was a little worried about making ends on the same night as 2018 and Kills. That's packing a lot of story into 3 movies on one night. You know, not an easy feat to do, and it kind of closes some doors on things that you can do in a story. You know, because time plays a big part on some stories. I'll give you an example. Hawkins. One thing you knew watching Halloween Kills was Hawkins wasn't going to save the day. You know? Because he was pretty much, he was fucked up pretty bad. All right? He was bedridden. And Jamie Lee Curtis, even though she did get up and she did walk, but I didn't think she was going to like save the day or anything. You know, but especially Hawkins. So 4 years opens up a lot of possibilities. You don't have to get away from the hospital. You know, people have grown. And a lot of times too, like if there's been like a tragedy or something like that, it gives people time to grieve, time to heal. So 4 years would take care of that. It made me think of like When a Stranger Calls and how it goes 7 years into the future, because at the beginning of the movie, you find out that both the children are dead. So those parents would be freaking devastated. So if the parents played like a major part in the movie, it'd be hard to pick up right after that if they played a part in the movie. Going 7 years, it gives them time to move on with their lives. So that's kind of what it does for this movie. 4 years later, it gives everybody time to kind of settle down. You know, another example would be like 9/11. Remember, like after 9/11, man, it was a funk. Everybody was just in this heavy funk for years, even for a couple years. And every time we'd turn on the news, we'd see that footage of Ground Zero, and it would just bring it right back every time we'd watch it. And it was a tough event for the nation to get over. You know, it took quite a few years, maybe even more than 4. So an event like, you know, there was a freaking slaughter in Halloween Kills. This one guy killed a lot of people and he got away, you know? So even 4 years later, that's an impact on a town, because they all know that he's still out there, you know? Or do they know? Like, I'm wondering if the town of Haddonfield, you know, because you know how the news deals with information, and they get out to the public what needs to be gotten out to the public. So what if this is a situation where people think Michael Myers is dead? You know? I would not be surprised if that is a plot point in this, that most of the people of Haddonfield think he's dead and only a few people know that he's alive. I would not be surprised. And that would make for an interesting angle on the story too. So, yeah. Robert Long. The soundtrack to Halloween Ends should be a soundtrack by Skillet. Oh, Jesus. No comment. No, it should be a soundtrack by John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, Daniel Davies. That's what it should be. And man, they're 2 for 2. They're 2 for 2, man. Both those soundtracks are amazing. Like, I mean, I am constantly listening to this thing. Hold on. Yeah, man, that thing's amazing, right? Gee, I freaking love this soundtrack. Please tell me you guys have this. Man. No progressive agendas. I agree with that, man. I swear. It seems like a lot of content, and I'm not going to name names. You could probably think up some yourself, but man, it seems like a lot of content now. It's like when they're in the brainstorming room, it's like, okay, what agenda do we need to make sure we check the box of, and then let's get to the story. You know? It seems like they got a checklist of, we got to have this, and this, and then we can get to the story. You know, because we got to satisfy, you know, this group of people or this corporation. And I swear it irks the shit out of me. And you know what? I don't care what your agenda is. You know, I just want a good story. People want to be entertained at the end of the day. That's all they want. Don't give me anything else. I don't want you to lecture me. I just want to be entertained, and I don't want to be watching something and then in the middle of the movie be like, why is that there? You know, what is the point of that? You know, Black Christmas 2019. It drives me nuts. And there's a lot of stuff like that on TV these days. You know? Koala Cat says, my end to kills. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Michael and Laurie dead. Then Michael does his Undertaker sit-up. Allison stumbles away hopeless like Jamie Lloyd did at the end of Halloween 5. Ooh, that could be interesting. That could be very interesting, for sure. I think I could definitely see something like that happening because that just fits into that trope of the killer getting up. You know, the killer always gets up. And it'd be cool if he does that sit up and we think him and Laurie are both dead. Or here, I'll even do you one better. Wouldn't it be cool if, and I know this won't happen, but wouldn't it be cool if the very end of the movie, you know, the camera's like, it's not craning up like Chris was talking about earlier. The camera is like, you know, focused right in from the side on Laurie and Myers, right? And we think they're both dead. It's over. You know, we think the credits are going to roll. Camera pulls back. Keep in mind, not up, but back from the side. Camera pulls back slowly. And then the last thing you see, Myers sit up. Credits. Oh my God. I get chills just thinking about it. What do you guys think about that? Would that be cool? Like, because evil never dies. I think people would be satisfied with an ending like that too, because that's pretty much what they did at the end of the first movie. You know? Loomis, he looks down and Myers is gone. You know? Evil never dies. Leanna Beverage, I hope I said that right, Leanna, says, I'd like to see more extended suspense and ends. I love the longer sequences of a chase. There's never enough of them. Yeah, I completely agree. I was just talking at the beginning of the stream about tension and suspense. And when I was watching When a Stranger Calls and When a Stranger Calls Back. When a Stranger Calls Back's not perfect, but man, that opening 20 minutes, just like the previous movie, so much tension and suspense. Beth has entered the house. What's up, Beth? How are you doing? You got to watch the beginning of the stream after it's over because you'll see. I was giving you credit too. Your Christmas mashup, glorious. But yeah, we've been talking a lot about ends, a lot of good stuff, So you're gonna have to go back and watch this for sure. But hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great Christmas. So yeah. Dead camp official Michael throwing Laurie's mutilated body at trick-or-treaters. That's how it should end. Like the end of the movie, he's in the, because somebody gave him lessons, and so he's just driving down the road and he like tosses out an arm, tosses out a leg. You know, oh my God, the possibilities. That's horrible. Okay, Hayden Slashers says, nah, I would want something that doesn't leave on a cliffhanger. It needs to have a true ending. But isn't the notion that evil never dies, can't that be a true ending? Because think about it too. Carpenter even stated he never wanted Halloween to have a sequel. Halloween 2, in his mind, should have never existed. In his words, they gave him the biggest check that he had ever seen in his life. And so no wasn't a possibility. So that's why he wrote Halloween 2. But I often love movies that have ambiguous endings or endings that give you a chill down your spine or a sense of dread. I love, and there's so many cases of movies that don't have franchises, that don't have sequels, that have ambiguous endings like that, you know, that really send a chill. And I think when you make a sequel, sometimes it can kind of water that down a little bit, you know? Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you what I want. Okay, and let me fix this. Hold on. So that way you guys can see. Okay. Halloween 5. Halloween. Yeah, I want Halloween 5. Just re-release it. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Halloween Ends. 5 things I want. 5 things I want. And take a drink of water, okay? Before I get into this. And some of these things I already kind of discussed in the previous section. And Beth says she wants an open-ended ending. Yep, that's kind of what I want. That's kind of what I want, you know? Okay. All right. Give me that thorn. Go deep with the lore of Samhain. You know? I want them to... And the reason I want them to do this stuff is because it's the stuff that got me scared of the franchise in the first place. That got me obsessed with the franchise is that what if, you know, that supernatural aspect. Call it Thorn, call it Samhain, call it whatever you want, Samhain. Give me that supernatural goodness, you know. There's a lot of people, they don't like Myers being supernatural. I am the other side of that. I want the guy to be able to freaking lift planet Earth, all right, and throw it into the sky. Isn't planet Earth already in the sky anyway? Jesus. Yeah. I like my Myers to be, because what does that do? It makes him like unpredictable, you know? Like, what can he do? And can I kill him? You know? So, and plus, story-wise, I love that stuff. I really do. To me, that just makes the guy scarier. It does. It might not to you. If it's a guy next door that can easily die, that might scare you. But to me, the guy that can pick somebody up by their neck and put his thumb in their cheek and then snap their neck with one hand, I don't know. That scares me, right? That scares me. Evil. Second thing. Evil should never die. Make Michael win. And I mean that. I agree with that. I want Myers to win just because of the notion that Carpenter had when he did the first movie. That evil never dies. And what does that do? It sends a chill up your spine. You know, nobody is safe. When you remove safety from a horror movie, it makes it that much more effective. I was just watching an interview with Rob Zombie on Joe Rogan, and I swear, I don't love all of his movies, but I could listen to Rob Zombie talk for days and days and days. He's just such an interesting interview. And he was talking about House of a Thousand Corpses, but this is not in that interview, but there was another interview that I saw with him where Bill Moseley was doing Devil's Rejects. And there's a scene in the hotel room that gets pretty damn racy and crazy. And Bill Moseley, you know, he's an actor. He's not the character. He's an actor. So an actor's going to have certain lines that they don't want to cross, right? And so he had concerns, and he's telling Rob Zombie, I don't like what I'm having to do in this scene. It's messing with my head. I don't feel good about it, and I need to talk to you about this. And you know what Rob Zombie told him? Rob Zombie told him art should never be safe. Art should never be safe. Art should be dangerous, you know? And sometimes to make art unsafe and make it dangerous, you have to cross lines, or you have to leave a sense of uncertainty, you know? And so I agree with Rob Zombie, and it's not, I guarantee you that scene probably wasn't easy to film, but it leaves a lasting impression. It leaves a lasting impression. So the thought of Michael winning, it's not like I'm Team Michael and I'm not yeah, if Laurie wins, then that's all, and we'll get to that because that's going to play into one of my items here. I'm not saying that I'm going to be heartbroken if Laurie wins. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do like the notion that evil never dies. Okay, and one way you can do that is make Michael win. All right, and you could make Michael win, and it still be unsatisfying. It all depends on the execution. It all depends on how it plays out, because some ideas are great on paper, but they don't transform well on the big screen. Matrix Resurrections. So, my opinion. Number 3. Surprise me, but get under my skin. Halloween 4. I put Halloween 4 there for a reason, because the ending of Halloween 4 was extremely surprising, but also scary as fuck. Like, that scene destroyed me for years. That scene, just thinking back to like Loomis's reaction, and I think that's really what sells the scene. I was scared to death when I saw Danielle Harris at the top of the stairs, this young little, because when you mess with kids in a horror movie and you put blood on them and all that stuff, it does kind of freak you out. And I think that freaked me out. But then seeing Loomis just added to it, his reaction with the no. He couldn't believe it. He's like, God, it's freaking started again. It's like the worst nightmare for this guy. So if they could figure out a way to insert some of that in Halloween Ends, it doesn't even have to be at the end of the movie. It could be something that pops up in the middle of the movie that the audience is just like, oh my God, that's like the worst thing possibly imaginable. Oh my, please don't do, get under my skin. Introduce something into the story that completely just freaking blows people's minds, And that could involve Laurie Strode, What if Laurie Strode takes a turn and does something out of the ordinary? What if Laurie Strode kills somebody? What if Laurie Strode becomes evil? I don't know. Anything. Just give me something that really freaks me out, Because as much as I love Kills, and as much as I love Halloween 2018, I guess they do somewhat have that aspect, but they don't like send it home all the way. Like, I will say, Halloween 2018, the bathroom scene did like, what the fuck? Like, when I was watching that in the theater, when he comes in there, and because this was a death unlike any other death in the franchise. There was something about the way it was executed, and Dana, man, I just felt for the, you ever see a victim in a I guess any franchise, and there's just something about, there's an innocence there that when they're dying, when they're getting killed, it just really messes with you, messes with your head. And Dana, man, her death really sat with me. It was brutal, and I felt horrible for her. And you could even kind of compare this to Cameron in Kills. I didn't expect that. The way Cameron died in that movie, I was like, wow. And I didn't really care for Cameron that much in the first movie. I didn't dislike him, but they built him up, and I really liked him in Kills. And then when they killed him, holy shit, it was intense as hell. And it like the scene went on for quite a while. And so I guess that's 2 examples. Give me stuff like that in this movie, but really send it home, Really send it home. Okay. Number 4. Where does Allison fit in? And boy, that's open-ended. That is open-ended. It could be anything. It could be like what I was talking about earlier with, what if they killed Laurie Strode in the first act or the second act? And Allison's left to defeat. It's just her and Myers. I think that she is going to play a major part in this movie. I do. I'm just curious to see where they're going to go. I think this is the one area where I'm at a loss for words. Like they could go anywhere with Allison. And if anything, Allison was kind of just in the first movie, but in Kills, I was Team Allison all the way. I was freaking carrying that Allison flag by the end of that movie. Is she the greatest final girl of the last decade? No. Still pretty standard stuff. Like, she's no Kinsey from Strangers Pray at Night. You talk about one of the most underrated final girls I think I've ever seen. It's got to be Kinsey. from Strangers Pray at Night. I mean, wow, she goes for broke at the end. But I will say, Allison, there's an aspect of that with Allison at the end of Kills. She does the same thing, you know, after Cameron dies and Myers comes in, she's like, do it, let's go. You know, that's what I want out of a final girl. Let's get dirty, let's go. And so I'm really curious to see what they do with her in this. And I'm hoping they do something big with her. You know, I'm hoping that her biggest moment from this trilogy wasn't in Kills. That would be really disappointing for me, you know? So, yeah. And then, you know, number 5, I saved this for number 5, given respect. This is Laurie Strode's last hurrah. Go for it, you know? You have carte blanche, okay? Do whatever you want to do. But just throw some nice surprises at me, okay? I think personally it's gonna be Laurie Strode versus Myers at the end of the movie, but I'm just hoping it's not predictable. You know, I want some curveballs to be thrown at me with Laurie. Let's put it this way: you guys know that I'm not the biggest Laurie Strode fan. I want to come out of this movie saying Laurie Strode is like the greatest freaking final girl I've ever seen in my life. That's what I want to come out of this movie saying. Yeah. Byron Weaver. Yeah, Kirsty from Hellraiser is probably one of my favorite final girls, for sure. And I literally told Ashley Lawrence that too when I met her. I said, Kirsty is easily one of my favorite final girls. Because to stand up to Pinhead, who is like the ultimate evil, that takes guts. All right. Man, that was a lot of Halloween Ends talk, guys. Let's get into Friday the 13th. Liana says, don't make Laurie the final girl. That's all I ask. I probably agree with you, Liana. I mean, if Laurie dies earlier in the movie, I'm probably not going to be the guy to be pissed off about that, you know? All right, so now we can pull up. Let's see. We'll take that out. And I'm going to do the Friday face-off. So close that out. Okay. I'm going to open the floor to you guys real quick. All right. Give me your favorite movie of the bunch. Do you like Jason Lives? Or do you like... Destin, you missed the Cameron talk. We had a good dose of Cameron talk, and you missed it. Okay, which do you prefer? Jason Lives or Final Chapter? Okay, Brett says Final Chapter over Jason Lives, no contest. Remember, YouTube poll. Thanks for a great stream. Oh, can I do a poll? Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Create poll. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to type the poll up. Which is better? Wait, see, the poll's just giving me yes or no. Let me see. Can I take that out? Here we go. Okay. Jason Lives. Final Chapter. Okay. Let's see if that works. All right, there we go, guys. Go ahead and vote. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I don't even see. Okay, there we go. Yes, I can see it. All right, so Final Chapter 69%. And it's not, and that's kind of what I figured. But man, I tell you, the thing I noticed is that people that prefer Jason Lives, they freaking love Jason Lives. So I guess there's something to be said about that. There is a unique quality to that movie. And don't get me wrong, guys. I do love Jason Lives. I think Jason Lives is fun. It's really awesome. But it's probably in my number... Let's see, hold on. I'd probably put it at number 3 or 4. 3 or 4. Ooh, Final Chapter really picking up. 74%, 76%. Damn. I expected this to be half and half. I really did. I expected this to be kind of right down the middle. But we'll entertain it, okay? We'll entertain it. So yeah, it looks like Final Chapter. Yeah, because I think Final Chapter is just freaking perfection. Like, to me, Final Chapter is one of the greatest slasher movies ever created. You know, as far as like checking all the slasher movie boxes, it checks every single one of them, and it probably even creates a couple. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, so I think I'll 48 votes. Okay, cool. 48 votes. So I think that gives us a gauge of what you guys think. So I'll end the poll. All right. So let me go through some pictures here, okay? All right. And these could be good things, these could be bad things, all right? And I'll start with Jason Lives, all right? Let's talk Jason Lives. This is one thing that I don't really care for with Jason Lives is the paintball sequence. And I guess it does. I was going to say it doesn't really fit in with the vibe of the movie. And I guess it kind of doesn't, but it kind of does because there is comedy throughout Jason Lives. It's very self-aware. So I'll give it that. But at the end of the day, either I like the scene or I don't. And I think it like there was a line there, you know, and the line was perfectly written. And then they kind of crossed the line with the paintball sequence. Like that felt like that could have been in an Ernest Goes to Camp movie, you know? And I don't want Ernest Goes to Camp mixed in with my Friday movie. I don't want that. So I think that's my least favorite scene. But I mean, still, like I said, this is like number 3 or number 4. So I still love Jason Lives immensely. So this is one thing I didn't care for, though. All right, next item. CJ Graham is fucking awesome. Okay, so I mean, these are two titans. Like CJ Graham's he's my number 3. You know, number 1's Ted White. Number 2 is Richard Brooker. Number 3, CJ Graham. You know, CJ Graham is a freaking legend. Okay, he's a big dude too. They actually used 2 different guys, which is common for a lot of the Friday movies. They actually used 2 different guys for Jason, but CJ Graham was Jason for most of the time, and he just has more of a muscular physique, whereas the other guy was kind of fat. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but didn't they start with the fatter guy, and then they ended up going with CJ Graham after? Am I right or am I wrong about that? But yeah, I mean, talk about a menacing Jason. And I think if that's a key element to Jason Lives. That's the thing that made it work, because it does have a lot of lighter toned moments, but one thing you gotta have to maintain that balance is a really effective, scary Jason. And that's one thing that worked about this is they never made fun of Jason in the movie. You know, they kept him serious and menacing throughout the whole movie, and it worked. And that's because of CJ Graham. CJ Graham was amazing. Koala Cat, let me see what you got. Hold on. Big John comes back to kick some ass. So, yeah. CJ Graham, mad props. Got to give him the credit. Okay. So, next item. Now, Tiff says CJ Graham and Kane Hodder fight for number 1. Kane Hodder, I'm telling you, like, I will say, Friday has the stacked freaking Jasons, at least in like the top 5, because if you told me Kane Hodder's your favorite Jason, I couldn't argue with you. I mean, he is a damn good Jason. And I talked with Kane Hodder for like 10 minutes when I was at Spooky Empire. Probably the nicest celebrity you could ever meet. Like, I loved chatting it up with him. And he, you know, I thought he was shorter, but he's like 6'2". He's a big dude. So, and you know, Kane Hodder brought some things to the role that had never been there before. You know, this was an actor playing a part. I got to give him credit for that. You know, that whole breathing thing that he did, you know, that's something that he created. And I'll give him credit for that. But he just happens to sit at my, like, number 4. You know? Number 4. I think actually 5, because I think I like Derek Mears a little bit more. I don't know. I think the fact that he was in 4 movies, though, does say something. But Derek Mears, man. Like, Derek Mears, I think one thing that hurts him is the fact that he was the last. He was the latest Jason. He was what you would call the Millennium Jason. If you take Derek Mears and put him in like the 80s era Friday the 13th, he'd be number 1 or number 2 for a lot of people. I think so. Because like Kane Hodder, he brought something really cool to the character. This was a Jason that was like a hunter. He would run, and man, he was a force. He definitely brought a force of nature aspect to Jason. Almost like I could compare Derek Mears to like a Rambo version of Jason, and that kind of fit. Like you could take Rambo and put him as Jason, pretty much the same thing, All right, next item. Another really, really cool aspect to Jason Lives is the Frankenstein opening. I love this. This is, as far as like openings, I will give the edge to Jason Lives. Like, this is probably the best opening of the franchise. There's just such a cool visual aspect. And, this was a couple years after Jason had died. I mean, the way he died in part 4, that's dead, okay? That's like dead .0. Dead. So, like, how in the hell are they bringing this guy back? Because in my mind, I was thinking he was probably chopped up into a million little pieces. But the Frankenstein idea worked. For some reason, you see him in there, and he looks like he weighs 50 pounds because it's just nothing but bones. And he sticks that rod, that post in his chest, and brings him back to life. And man, it's one of those occasions where if it's good on paper, it might not be good in real life. But this was amazing. Like, the idea was great. The actual execution of it was even better. It's a beautifully done scene. Beautifully done scene. And I think when you start a movie off on that tempo, that's a good thing. You're already off to a great start. It is a badass scene. Okay, next one. We're still giving some See, I'm going to give love to both movies. Don't you worry, guys, okay? I already did that one. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, Frankenstein. I got to take that one off. Okay. Yeah, and then Tommy Jarvis. And there's Tommy Jarvis in both movies. And I'll ask you guys, but I think I already know the answer you're going to give me. Which Tommy Jarvis do you guys prefer? Do you prefer Tom Matthews, or do you prefer the Corey Feldman? And, in Corey Feldman's defense, because I think I know where this is going to go. Oh, poll! Here we go. All right, which Tommy? Tom, Corey. Okay, here we go. I want to see what you guys say. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Tom or Corey? Let me know. I probably didn't even have to, but like, in Corey Feldman's defense, this was a different version of the character. This was a child, and guys, child actors can ruin a movie. They can really ruin a movie. Holy shit, Corey's at 67%. Corey Feldman was an amazing child actor. He did a fantastic job in part 4, and I think he was essential to, because the final act, part of the reason it's creepy is because of Corey Feldman. This is a child who completely went apeshit and chopped Jason, the scariest Jason of the bunch, to bits. He went insane, and it worked. So no easy feat. So it's hard for me to pick because the two are so different from each other. I don't really like the Tommy Jarvis from part 5. He's a little bit too crazy, a little bit too weird. So, am I frozen? Oh no, let me see. Let me go back to the maze. Yep, I'm frozen. Love it. Jesus. I don't know. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on just a sec, guys. There we go. We're better. Okay, we're back. Cool. Yeah, my camera just froze. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. What up, Bacon Pew Pew? All right. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. All right. Okay. And let me see what was the final result. So, wow, guys, you guys really surprised me. Corey Feldman wins over Tom Matthews, 41 votes, 56 to 44. That's insane. I would have never expected that. Would have never expected that. That's pretty cool, actually. But, I mean, you got to admit, Corey Feldman, I think people factor in the eccentricities of Corey Feldman today, you know? I think if Corey Feldman... Maybe what if his career would have went more of a traditional path and he would have been this very successful actor? Maybe he would have been appreciated more. Or what if, you know, he stopped after being a child actor, he just did something else? I think maybe his performance would have gotten a little bit more respect. So, yeah. Hilton, yes, I did hear they're making a Pumpkinhead remake. Really cool, really cool. I've never seen the original Pumpkinhead though. I need to watch it. I have it on VHS too. A booster seat, hot dog. You guys ever watch SpongeBob? My kids used to watch SpongeBob all the time. Yeah, all right. I can believe Part 4 Tommy more than Part 6 Tommy. Yeah, they're two very different. You're right, Dustin. They're two very different Tommies. You know, and I think there's more of an arc with Corey Feldman. You know, Corey Feldman started off as just this normal kid. You know, he sees all these beautiful women at this camp, and so his hormones are raising. You know, he's at that age, but he's just very innocent. He's a child. You know, doing normal kid stuff. We're at 50% now, and then he goes through an arc in this movie. By the end of the movie, I mean, he is pretty messed up. So, and I always like when there's an arc for a character, you know? For me, usually more times than not, if there's a good arc for a character, then a lesson's to be learned at the end. Tom Matthews is winning now, 52 to 48. Not surprised, but come on, Corey fans, get back in there, all right? Come on. I'll leave it up there for a little bit longer. 53 to 47, uh-oh. We're pulling back, we're pulling away. Have you watched Elvira, Mistress of the Dark yet? No, and I have that beautiful freaking Blu-ray too. I've been meaning to watch it, but when I do watch it, I'm going to review it. Because it's funny, I'm a huge Elvira fan. Matter of fact, I can show you something. Hold on. I'll give you a show and tell. Yeah, like that right there. Oh, B-Cam. Hold on. We can go to B-Cam. Open video, B-Cam. Oh, here we go. See? We got the B-Cam, guys. All right, hold on. So, look at that. Elvira. 2 Drumdums. Right? Man, she was a sweetheart, too. Cassandra Peterson. Yeah, love that. Love that. All right. What's the last Funko? Do you guys still buy Funkos? I got, man, I wish, do I have, yeah, I actually got, let me, hold on. More show and tell. More show and tell. I got 2 Funkos recently. Hold on. Did you guys have a good Christmas? All right, so I got, check this out. Let me go to B-Cam. Hold on. So, I got this. It's a black costume Superman from Justice League. Superman, I love Superman. He's my number 2. Okay? Black costume Superman, Justice League. My son and his girlfriend, they got me these. And then I got this Venom Hulk. Venom Hulk. You know, Stan Lee once said too, like, can you imagine if the symbiote ever got onto the Hulk? And the Hulk, he's my number 1. I grew up such a big Hulk fan, you know. I don't know. I just like big like monsters and creatures when I was a kid, and the Hulk fit right into that. You know, you get your monster creature, but you also get your superhero. So, yeah, it was cool. But yeah, Venom Hulk. I didn't even know they had a Venom Hulk, but there we are. I got a Spider Hulk figure too that I got like years and years ago. It's not a Funko, it's just a regular action figure. That thing is worth like $200-$300. It's crazy. But yeah, really cool. All right, yeah. But Elvira was a sweetheart. Okay, going back. We're not finished. We haven't even gotten to part 4 yet. Okay. So, oh yeah, and all right, here, let me ask you guys this: Megan or Trish? Which final girl did you prefer? Did you prefer Megan or did you prefer Trish? Both of them are very strong. Megan was really sassy. You know, I liked her. She was, you know, her father was the sheriff, and yeah, I really dug Megan. But Trish is the hands down winner. Mega Cat has a bong collection. That's awesome. What's up, Juan? How you doing? All right. What about Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner rocks. Yeah. Oh, let's do another poll. Hold on. Okay. Megan or Trish? Now I'm gonna bet. Well, I won't say anything yet. Hold on. Let's see what you guys think. Hey, it didn't pop up. Where'd my poll go? Do I gotta ask a question? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah. Megan or Trish? Megan or Trish? All the hard-hitting questions today. Megan. She was a badass, both. Megan, 62%. 62%. Yeah. Well, the next poll we'll do is how many bongs does Mega Cat have? Okay. The answer, it'll either be 27 or 37. You'll have to pick. Having fun. Yeah, Brett, you opened up a can of worms, and yeah, you tell me there's a poll. I'm gonna ask something. Shit. I mean, fuck it. Hold on. 67%. How many of you voted? 33 votes. 67% Megan. I prefer Trish, if I'm being honest. And you know, they're both awesome. But Trish, the way she fought for her brother, you know, that earned points for me. She was badass. She was resourceful. She stood up. She went head to head with freaking Jason, and she fought the scariest Jason. Okay, so yeah. All right, next poll. Let's just do polls. Hold on. It won't let me. Oh, in poll. Here we go. Okay. All right. Tell me which sandwich you like better. Hold on. Or peanut. Did I spell banana right? Yeah, I think I spelled it right. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Which sandwich do you guys like better? Come on, pop up there. There we go. You like a peanut butter and jelly, or do you like a peanut butter and banana sandwich? Asking the tough questions tonight. The tough questions. All right. Okay, we'll move on. Okay. While you ponder that. Okay. Yeah. So Tommy Jarvis from part 4. He almost won the poll. He was in the lead for a little bit, but yeah. I kind of already talked about it. But Corey Feldman kicked ass as Tommy Jarvis. You know what? Thinking back to like Corey in the 80s, this was probably one of his most challenging roles too, you know, just because this is a darker character by the time of by the end of the movie, and not to take anything away from his other parts like Stand By Me and The Goonies. He was amazing in those movies, really great. You know, amongst child actors, he was one of the best of the 80s, but this was some darker territory for sure. And yeah, there's Trish. going head to head with Jason. See, I kind of like compared as I was showing you the Jason Lives ones, and I already didn't put my see, I've messed up. See, I should have put that up there. Hold on. But what we can talk about is how awesome Ted White was as Jason in part 4. He scared the shit out of me. You know, that was a scary ass Jason. And even like his hands were disgusting looking. Remember like in the beginning with Axel? And his hands were just like, man. Now, man, I must be a rebel or something because I'm all about the peanut butter and banana. Is that like a Southern thing, maybe? Because we Southerners, we do like peanut butter and banana. Big time, big time. Strawberry jam, yum. Creamy peanut butter, not the jam. I'm gonna have a PBJ after this. Yeah. All right, we're let's get to the next one. Okay. Okay, final chapter. That's why we have a winner right there. Okay, you know I've stretched out the tension long enough. It all comes down to this. That reason right there, and maybe that's why I said peanut butter and banana. You know, because it was subliminal. It was in my mind, and then boom. That's like like you wouldn't see Michael Myers doing that. That's a great kill, right? Man, when he freaking stabs the top of her head and that she's eating the banana. Screw you, asshole. That's a great shot. Somebody told me they like recreated recreated like a lot of the kills from the Friday franchise. It's an Elvis thing. Elvis loved peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Like when I was a kid, we used to go to Graceland every year because my dad likes a big Elvis fan, and so we'd go to Graceland. And I guess right outside of Graceland, when Elvis was there was like this, you know, I guess what would you call it? Like one of those little small roach coach trailer type deals. And this woman, she would make Elvis peanut butter and banana sandwiches. So yeah, maybe that's why he gained all that weight. I thought he stabbed her in the back of the neck. I think he's... Yeah, I thought he did too. You're right. So why is he holding her head like that? I don't know. I like that kill though. Next one. There you go right there. I'm telling you, I'm hitting you with the big guns now. Okay? The old computer, Ted and Jimbo. I mean, these two characters... Oh my God, they were so damn fun. And they were just that perfect comedic thread throughout the whole movie. And, you know, it was simple. They were just really, really, really horny. You know, and you don't need anything else in a Friday movie, you know? They pretty much represented the demographic for boys who watched Friday the 13th movies back in the 80s, you know? I was their target audience, I guess. And they're funny. You know, it's so funny when Ted calls Jimmy. He says, let me put it in the old computer. Computer don't lie. It says you're a dead fuck. You know, Friday the 13th Part 4 is one of those movies that's just like the highest rewatchability out of the entire franchise. And a big reason for that is because of those two guys right there. I like to candy bacon with maple and black pepper. Candy bacon with maple and black pepper. Yeah, I would eat that. That sounds good to me, George. Yeah, man. Is everybody going to get something to eat after this? Or is it just me? Okay. Yeah. Ted, where's the corkscrew? I love his death too, you know, because he gets like he stabs him in the hand and then he gets the machete to the face. Like, that's a brutal death, you know? Great stuff. Okay, and then here we go. This is it. This is the reason why the final chapter is better than Jason Lives. Okay, are you ready for this? As a matter of fact, this will be my intro of this clip right here that I'm going to clip out and put out to the public. This right here is the reason why Final Chapter is better than Jason Lives. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. There you go. Fucking Axel, man. You don't got Axel, you don't got nothing. All right? Axel is the man. I love this guy to death. And I just had... And again, starting off a movie with a bang. Yes, Jason Lives has the better start with the Frankenstein-inspired opening. But I'm talking just from a character standpoint. It doesn't get much better than Axel. You know? It doesn't get much... And it's funny enough, I would say Final Chapter is one of the more serious Friday movies. But yet it starts off with this complete womanizer who's hilarious. You know? And he's watching like... What was that, ladies? Is it like Pilates that he's watching or something like that with a leotard? It's great stuff. Chipotle. Yeah, Axel rules. Axel's awesome. Bonesaw is ready. My boy. Yeah, you can't lose with Axel. He's great. So that's it, guys. That's why Final Chapter is better than Jason Lives, okay? But really, seriously, in all seriousness, man, it is one of my all-time favorite slasher movies, of all slasher movies. Final Chapter. I'm drawing the director who also did The Prowler. Guys, help me out. What's the director's name? It's driving me freaking nuts. I've said his name a million times, but for some reason, it's probably because I'm live. Every time I'm live, I draw a freaking blank. But man, the work that you could tell that he put so much into the Final Chapter, you know. And they told him, this is the last one. Do whatever you want. And that's why the end has that sense of finality, because he is chopped into bits. And it's got the babes. No, Tom Savini did not direct it. You guys know, I'm talking about the director. Joseph Zito. I just thought it up. Okay, Joseph Zito. Yeah, man, he knocked it out of the park. Like I could watch Joe Zito direct. Like if he directed every slash in the 80s, I'd be fine with that, because man, he never held back. He did what he had to do to get the scene. There was some controversy behind the scenes with the raft scene, and it's like freezing temperatures. But when you're a director, sometimes you got to make those tough decisions. And he did that. He made those tough decisions. But man, he made a kick-ass freaking movie. Okay? So, yeah. All right, guys. Holy crap. It's 10 o'clock. This was such a fun freaking DDLive. And I swear I could always go like another hour, because like I didn't even do funnies tonight. But I'll save my funnies for the next time we do this, and hopefully it'll be sooner than later. Also, for my patrons, today I was recording the next patron vlog, and I was showing you a little behind the scenes, the studio, and pretty much right up to me starting to film here. So that should be out pretty soon. The next patron live hangout that's going to be coming. We just got to figure out what movie we're going to watch, but that hopefully I'm thinking. The week after next we'll do that, because I got to go on standby on my job. What that means is I have to like go on call, and if there's like any emergencies, then I got to go do it. So I don't want to do a live stream and then get called in the middle of it. So right after that though, we'll do the patron live hangout. But man, love you guys to death. Thank you so much for you guys make this easy, because I'm always nervous when I first start doing these, but you guys always throw great ideas at me, and I appreciate it, each and every one of you guys. So anyway, guys, take care.